Hey, all you Global Flows junkies. This is Patrick Brady coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Well, not really live whenever you see it, but it's really good to be with you. Hope you're having a great week and the weekend's coming. Happy Father's Day. So, Global Flows, we are interested in the flow of money, people, finances, goods, and here we're going to talk about a little bit of international politics. All right, let's get down into it. Global elections episode, the anti-immigration election year. So I pulled this out because a lot of the articles I was reading about international politics and international relations had to do with a lot of 2024 elections. Here in the US, it's coming November, first week of November. Trump, Biden, maybe RFK. We'll see. So it's going to be really, really hot and heating up. So around Europe, a lot of elections have already taken place. So here's a lot of information on that. Here's an article on G7 leadership shifts, 6 lame ducks, and Giorgia Meloni of Italy. So watched some videos last night on the news of, all the G7, and then, the host, Miss Meloni, really was kind of the star of the show. She's the only one, seems like, is not in political hot water. And because this is the episode of immigration, it seems like a lot of politicians are really on the hot seat for immigration, very lax immigration policies. And so, of course, we have ours here in the U.S. as well. Most G7 leaders are preoccupied with domestic crises or election campaigns. Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy, stands out with her growing influence in European politics. And she's very strong. Disagreements over financing Ukraine add further strain to the summit's effectiveness. I guess at the end of the G7, they decided to fund Ukraine for 10 more years of potential fighting with Russia. Okay. I really don't know where you stand in that argument, but I truly hope that they find peace and some kind of peaceful resolution for the entire country of Ukraine is completely gutted. So anyway. If you want my comments on that, call me directly. International themes. India, Mexico, South Africa went to the polls. Here's what we learned. Here's an article from Politico. A year of elections and democracies around the world is revealing deep dissatisfaction among voters. Okay. Here's some bullet points. Global elections show rising dissatisfaction with incumbents. Mexico's Morena party solidifies power, and Sheinbaum elected first woman Jewish president of Mexico. Fascinating. India's BJP and South Africa's ANC lost majorities, showing limits of single-party dominance. Populist leaders and movements continue to gain traction amid political dissatisfaction. Okay, here in the States, that would probably be more of RFK or Trump, the populist leaders. Voters globally express frustration, feeling disconnected from political leaders and institutions. Very interesting stuff. Here's what's going on in Europe. Why Europe is lurching to the right. Macron dissolves the French parliament and calls a snap election after defeat in EU vote. German-French far-right gains offer signs of shifting tone in EU parliament vote. Okay. I don't know. I take far-right parties with a grain of salt. For some reason, they think centrist views now are far-right. So I think, obviously, I'm biased, but there's been a shift, certainly towards left. So the center is actually considered right-wing. We'll see. Far-right parties gained significantly in the EU Parliament elections, influencing national politics. Macron dissolved the French parliament after a far-right victory, calling for snap elections. Germany's party outperformed Chancellor Scholz's party, signaling a shift in voter sentiment. Economic issues, migration, and climate policy were major drivers of rightward shift. EU's rightward shift raises concern about future politics or policies on climate, immigration, and sovereignty. Okay, well, things swing like a pendulum, don't they? I mean, for example, Biden was elected, and global climate alarmists really were powerful in the electorate. seeming not so much right now, but you've got immigration policies, you've got monetary policies, tightening, loosening, immigration, EVs. So many issues kind of swing right and left, and it seems like things are swinging to the right as we speak. Which probably, I think people's short-term attention spans are much tighter these days. So I've heard it said that incumbents actually have more to prove than challenger because we're all a little bit dissatisfied. And we can be very dissatisfied with social media and the way it plays out, where everyone's got 24-hour visibility. Asia politics and Singapore's brewing election battle, immigration anxiety takes center stage. That's from the South China Morning Post from Hong Kong. India's Modi heading to majority but no landslide win. And is Australia racist? Intense migration debates sets tone for 2025 election. Also from South China Morning Post. So immigration. The citizenry of these countries are concerned about immigration, which is interesting also because it's kind of contrasted by low birth rates and the need for increased population in a lot of these countries. So how does that play out? We shall see. Singapore's election sees opposition focusing on foreign workers, highlighting national identity and inequality. India's Modi faces unexpected coalition building after JPJ falls short. Australia's immigration debate heats up, opposition blaming migrants for housing and infrastructure issues. That's what happens. Australia is really an interesting case because always so very conservative, at least in my mind. And then with COVID and COVID restrictions and really the left wing, what I perceive as the left wing and the left leaning parties became very, very stronghold on the citizenry. And I think in the last few election cycles, Australians have really voted left. So this immigration policy really might move things towards the center. Far-right gains in EU Parliament elections influence national policies. Anti-immigration sentiment rises globally. Lastly, U.S. immigration, majority of voters support deporting all illegal immigrants. Majority, which is shocking. Shocking how the majority messages from the past 4 years ago, 5 years ago were, lenient borders and the respect of asylum seekers. And now it seems like things have shifted back. The majority of voters support a federal program to deport illegal immigrants. 6 in 10 voters endorse it using local law enforcement. Concerns about crime, drug trafficking, and taxpayer burden drive support for mass deportations. Really fascinating. I'm sure this will be a central part of the Trump versus Biden debate happening later this month. Everybody, happy Father's Day again. Thank you for watching Global Flows. Mostly you're my friends and family, so thank you for watching or at least kind of reading the newsletter. Take care.